Okay, mama, let's have a real heart to heart for a moment here. Have you ever spent hours, maybe even days, thinking about, hey, a digital product idea, this is going to be good, only to pause and think, but what if nobody buys it? That question right there has stopped more mom entrepreneurs than lack of skill, lack of time, or lack of money. So today, we're going to be tackling that for you in the Mompreneur HQ community. And this episode is all about how to validate your digital product idea before you spend weeks and months and years trying to create something that may not sell. Less guessing, less overthinking it, and a lot more clarity when we return. Hello and welcome back to the Making of a Mompreneur show. I am Rasheeda Green, the founder and CEO of Get Coaching, the host of this wonderful Mompreneur HQ community, the creator of the Digital Mompreneur Academy, and I am the Digital Mompreneur. And we're continuing our conversation about the BFFs Pillars series inside of the Mompreneur HQ community, focusing on the B for business. Last episode, we talked about your first digital product. When today, we're making sure the first product is not built on hope, but on strategy. All right. If you are joining us for the first time, just go ahead and let us know who you are, where you're joining us from, so that we can really appreciate the wide range of the Mompreneur HQ community's reach. And if, like, I know you might want to get you a pen, paper, pencil, or the digital device so that you can take down some notes and drop some hashtag nuggets in the comment field if you indeed receive something in today's message that can help you grow your business or someone you know. Because building something that sells starts with listening and not just creating, so that we can get to where we want to get with this business. If you are ready, go ahead and put hashtag ready in the comments. And guess what? If you haven't already, I want you to go ahead and subscribe, comment, share, follow it, depending on which platform you are watching us from. And so that we can continue to give you some good stuff, right? Because we are moms looking to build businesses that are going to be aligned with our lifestyle and not the other way around, right? So we want to create digital products, and we help moms to start, grow, and scale digital product businesses so that they can build a life of their dreams without having to neglect their families or themselves in the process. And that's where our BFFs come from. We want to make sure that we're building business, also faith, family, and self-care in our lives as mom entrepreneurs. All right. So today we're talking about, will it sell? How to validate your digital product before you create it. Sounds weird. No, actually, it is not. And it's actually a very successful strategy. And it really just takes a few moments of your time to ask people, or actually look at your inventory of questions. If you have a group or some platform where people are constantly asking you questions, that is really how you can tell if there's a market for what it is that you want to build. So, first, we're going to talk about testing before building, how to test interest without building the whole product. Now, I want to go ahead and free you from something right now. You do not have to build the entire product before you know if people want it. In fact, you really shouldn't, right? Just because you love ice skating, you don't build a whole ice skating workbook when the people who ice skate are really not into workbooks. They're into live tutoring or coaching or training sessions live. So a PDF for them is not really, may not be the particular product that you create for them. Who knows? You got to do your research, right? So it may be a market for it. But just in my little simple example, it doesn't work. So you want to make sure that polling your group, reaching out to people. And one of the simplest ways to test interest is to start talking about the problem, not the product, okay? The problem. If you have a problem that you want to address with your product that you plan to create, why don't you post about it? Ask some questions about it. Share a story about it. This gets the juices flowing, not only for you, but for your audience. When they see what problem you're addressing, and if it's something that they are responsive to, then okay, there might be something there, right? If people respond, if they're commenting, if they ask you follow-up questions, that is a signal that, hey, the problem I'm looking to solve with the product I have in mind might actually work, because interest shows up as engagement before it actually shows up as income. Do you understand? So when you put it out there and you're getting this engagement, this flutter of influx of questions and people who are like, oh, yeah, then that's how you know that you should go forward with the next step. But if you hear crickets, girlfriend, that's not failure. It's feedback. It's just letting you know that the problem that you're looking to solve just might not be urgent enough, or it's not clearly communicated yet. And so you have the opportunity to then build out what that communication looks like. So we said earlier that you should go ahead, post it, share it, talk about it. You would just do those same things, but modify the message so that it's clear to the people hearing it what it is that you're looking to, the problem that you're looking to solve. And again, we're not talking about the problem just yet. This is the gauging section. We're trying to gauge the appetite of the audience on what it is that they would like help on, or what problem seems to be urgent for them that you can then go and look to solve with your product. Okay. And so we talked about different ways that you can test. Another way is to ask your audience. Now, you may be saying, how do I ask my audience what they need without telling them what I'm selling? It sounds very obvious, but most people actually skip this part. Ask. Ask your audience, what is it that you're struggling with? And you can do this again in polls. You can do it in stories. You can do it in email surveys if you have an email list. You can do it in casual conversations that's in person, or you can even drop it in the DMs, right? People who are already in your audience who may have commented on something previously, and you can ask, hey, I noticed that you commented on this particular post. Is there a problem that you need? Is there a problem that you're looking to solve? And you may not say it exactly like that. Use Chat GPT to finesse it up a little bit. But basically, how can I help? And it's that way, instead of guessing what people want, you're inviting them into the process. No, and so here's the key. Don't ask, would you buy my product? If they family members, they're gonna tell you yes, and then they still won't buy after you done made the product. So don't do that. Okay. You want to ask, what's your biggest challenge with this problem? So you may have seen, because I know I've seen some posts in some of these larger Facebook groups where they ask you, what's your biggest challenge with weight loss, with relationships, with skincare, with your skin regimen? They will ask directly what the question, what the problem is, or what your challenge is, because they're looking for feedback. They're looking to be able to enhance their products. They're looking to figure out what the gap is so that they can then create a product that's going to fill the gap. Now, you may say they're probably baiting you anyway to get you to buy their products. That it's very possible. But in most cases, they call that research, market research. We want to know what the people actually want so that we can make sure that what we're creating falls in line with what it is that the people actually need. And people are much more honest about pain points than they are about purchases. Like I said, you ask friends and family, oh yeah, girl, go, yeah, you go ahead and do that. And of course I buy them. And like I said, you produce that item. And if you was dependent solely on family and friends to sell your products, you would be at an L, because it's not always going to happen. And your digital product should be a response to a pain point, not just an idea. We're not just throwing together things because it's a nice idea. The way to get something sold is to solve a problem for someone. If someone has a pain point urgent enough, then you have that product that's going to solve that problem, and then you have sales. Okay. So next, I want to talk about pre-selling versus creating first. So that's something that makes people nervous. Pre-selling. Oh, I don't want to pre-sell because what if people pre-selling simply means offering the product before it's fully created. You're still going to create the product based on the feedback the market research that you've done, the feedback that you've received, the pain points that you've identified, and then you outline it, you explain the transformation, you invite people to join whatever the movement is that you've created around this product problem that you are trying to solve, and then you build it with real buyers in mind. Now, I know you're thinking, but what if no one buys? Then you just saved yourself weeks of work, right? You've identified a pain point. You've created a the pain point, the problem. You've created a product in your mind that you can create to sell to solve that problem. You go up with your pre-sale saying, okay, I got this product, pre-selling it, and then no one buys. Guess what? You have saved yourself weeks of work, pain, agony, and cash. Because if you paid to get this work done, this product created, you paid with your time, your brain power. You've moved things around in your schedules that you didn't attend something so you can make sure that this product was created only for it not to sell. We're avoiding that whole step by identifying your audience, pain points, trying to solve the problem with your product, pre-selling it to see if there's a real value. Because the pre-sell, they're paying for this in advance. It's not a wait list. This is pre-selling, meaning they're paying before you even create the product. And that's how you will know if it's going to work, because they put their money where their mouths are, right? They didn't just say, oh, I'm going to buy it. Oh, yeah, when it comes out, I got you, girl. They put their money where their mouths are. And they said, I want this product. You're pre-selling it. I know you're not going to deliver it until a time in the future, but right now I want to pay for it. That is what pre-selling is able to do for you if people are interested. If they're not, guess what? You have not wasted your life's more precious moments creating something that somebody's not going to sell. But really, pre-selling is one of the most honest validation tools available. It tells you, is this problem urgent enough? Is this solution clear enough? Is the price truly aligned? Is the audience ready to buy now? Creating first feels safer emotionally because you don't want to not create something and say, oh yeah, I'm going to be selling this book, and you don't have a book to sell. So you're like, okay, I'm pre-selling the book. Again, you don't have a book to sell. So it can send you in these it give you some emotional stress because you might feel like, oh, I don't want to put nothing out there. And what if that? But at the end of the day, you will create the item for the people who actually do want to buy your product. But if there is no interest, you're not breaking no sweat on it. You're just going to go back to the drawing board and see where there may have been some gap in the communication, the messaging, or the value of the product itself. But you may just really feel like I have to do it first. And that was me. And that was me. And I definitely felt like if I'm going to be the digital mompreneur, I need to have all the things. And I'm gonna tell you, it's not the best way to go. It definitely is not. But at the same time, I just felt people are not going to believe me if I'm not doing it. People are not going to buy into the digital mompreneur if I'm not actually selling digital products. So I do have digital products out there, and because my thing is I want to have multiple streams of income, I have various types of digital products out there. So you might know about my digital academy, the membership. That's a digital product, even though I do commit physical time. But the products that I deliver are digital products. They're courses, they're workbooks, they're social media templates. We're getting into GPTs. We have video trainings. Those are all digital that I don't have to necessarily be there to produce. I also have Amazon KDP books on Amazon KDP. So you have journals and books out there. That's all digital for me. I don't produce any hard copies. Amazon does that. Then we have the Shopify account, the digital social media graphics. I created them once and they're out, they're available for sale on a regular basis. And the same with the t-shirts and the in mugs and whatever else we got going on in the Etsy shop. Those are products that are hands off for me. They're digital. That was what I was fearful of if I didn't have this. Because as a coach independently, when I was just doing coaching and I was telling people about digital products, I just felt like, oh, I can't really tell people about digital products because I don't sell digital products. At the end of the day, understanding digital products and being able to help people with getting their digital products up and running, that is sufficient as a coach. However, imposter syndrome and all the other things, perfectionism, all those other things fall in and make you believe that you can't do one thing without doing the other. So creating first feels safer emotionally, but pre-selling is actually a strategic move that you need to incorporate into your business model. And if you feel nervous about it all, how about just validate with small offers first? If you think pre-selling is too big for you right now, then here's another way that you can validate, and that is by starting small. Instead of building a full course, create a mini guide or a workshop, maybe even a 60-minute live training or low ticket workbook. If people pay for something small, they're signaling trust. You don't need 100 buyers to validate an idea. Sometimes 5 to 10 committed buyers tell you everything you need to know, because momentum beats magnitude. You can actually work your way through the whole process based on their feedback. You can then just adjust your program or product so that it can appeal to more of the masses. If someone says that, hey, thank you for this course, it was just too much talking head. Oh, I prefer some slides and some visuals to support me in through the course. Those are things that you can use as feedback to create a even bigger, better representation of the product that you put out. And then let's talk about how to spot buying signals. What do real buying signals look like? Now let's clarify something that's very important, because likes are not buying signals. I told you, just because your family members, friends and family are like, yeah, that's cute, I like that, does not equal buying signals. Even the likes on social media. Oh, they give you a thumbs up and a heart, red heart, quick, fast, in a hurry. But if you were to hit them on in the DMs and say, thank you for responding to my post, would you be interested in me sending you the link to the product? Crickets. Because some people are just not going to buy. Encouragement is well needed and deserved when you're trying to build a business, but it is not a buying signal. That's a great idea. You should do it. That is not a buying signal. Real buying signals look like, ooh, how much is that? Because now I want to know how much it is. Now that's a signal. You tell me the price, I might not buy it, but that is a signal that I'm interested in buying, because I want to know this is something I'm going to go a step further and actually use my finger power to create a text or post that is actually asking you how much it is, because I have interest. Otherwise, I could have left it at the thumbs up. So that's a buying signal. Wow, when does it launch? Like, they want to know when it's coming out. When is it dropping? I want to know, because I'm interested in buying this product. That's another buying signal. Hey, how do I sign up? I'm interested in attending this event. I'm interested in finding more information. That is a buying signal. Now, here's a good one. Can you help me with this? Right? If you're talking about a problem, a pain point, and you sat and what you're presenting is interesting to them and they have that particular pain point and they're asking you, can you help me? That is a true buying signal. They want somebody to help them with that problem that you said that you have the product or service to help them with. So, all of those questions are intent based questions. They can potentially lead to the intention of purchasing your item. Your job during validation and testing is to listen for intent, not applause. Oh, because somebody give you some hand claps and some, what is it, the megaphone celebration symbol. That does not mean that they are going to buy your product. And so that's when we talk about when we have people with audiences of 100 and 200K followers. But if you was to check the post that they put out, it's not a lot of response. I'm gonna tell you now, I'm in that same category. We have a lot of people who are liking and following, but you know what? It's a matter of what is it that we're selling? What is it that we're offering? Are we hitting those pain points? We have to do our own research. We have to do our own work. And so I'm not saying that to just point fingers or tell you, oh, you can't, you have to be this perfect businesswoman. No, I am merely sharing because, hey, I've experienced these very same things. And so we have to know that even with the encouragement that we receive, even with the applause, even with the likes and the thumbs up, that does not mean that people intend to buy your product. And so let me just pause here and ask you something really quickly. Have you been creating or have you been validating? I want you to drop one word in the chat: creating or validating. Creating, if you are creating products and dropping products and doing all the things, or validating, meaning you are asking the questions, you're polling your audience, you're identifying the pain points through feedback. Now, this is a no judgment zone, but I really do want to just help us to all get into a stage of awareness that this validation is something that we should be aware that we need to do before creating our products so that we can understand whether people are actually interested in that thing before you put all your time, money, and energy into it. Because strategy, it really just starts with honesty. And if you can be honest with yourself and say, yes, I'm creating and I need to take a step back, or yes, I'm validating and I'm trying to take it to the next level to creating, that would be great. Now, this is why this conversation matters for the business pillar of the BFFs of the Mompreneur HQ and Digital Mompreneur community. When you validate before you create, you protect your time, you protect your energy, and guess what? You protect your confidence, because nobody wants that's like pew, that's like shooting a balloon, the air out of a balloon. When you drop this product you worked so hard for and then nobody buys it or you hear crickets, that's really a deflator. But if you do this, if you practice this process of validation, you protect your confidence, because now you know that when you put this product out, that somebody's actually interested in it. And that matters for your family, your self-care, and your peace. So if you've been sitting on a digital product idea, let's just share what your next move should be. Before you open Canva, before you outline the modules, before you build a sales page, let's try to validate. Let's validate. Talk about the problem. Ask questions. Offer something small. Watch for those buying signals, because smart moms don't just create, they build intentionally. And that's how you grow. And that's how you grow in a way that is sustainable and scalable. Excuse me, and scalable. All right, mom, that's us. Will it sell? How to validate your digital product idea before you create it. Thank you for spending time with me in today's episode of the Making of a Mompreneur show. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you drop them in the comment field. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until next time.